So I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about there is a dilemma or a conundrum of sort. I noticed in dating it's it's an issue. It's that either you have money and you don't have time, or you have time and you don't have money. And that's the dilemma that women unfortunately continue to go through. They go through times, there's periods in their life where the guys that they're with or attracted to have nothing but time, but don't have money to sustain a relationship. And then the guys that have the money either don't have the time or the style or what have you. So that's where I come up with the that's where I come up with the idea of the dating conundrum. Because personally, I've gone through this a bunch of times. I've gone through this a bunch of times as a young man. So I say, like, I remember when I was younger, and I used to date women, and it would be super fun. We would hang out and do all of these things. But I noticed very I noticed early when I was younger, in my 20s or teens, late teens, that a lot of the women that were my age were already making more money. Like, I know a lot of women at that time that already were managers and supervisors at corporations, at Target and here and there. It was like, even I think I worked at tickets.com, or whatever, or Ticketmaster, whatever it's called. And all of the supervisors, we're all the same age 'cause we all went to school together, but all the supervisors were women. So, in my early age, I noticed that early. And then a lot of the women that I talked to when I was young, they all had better jobs. They were all making more money. Like, almost all of them straight out of high school. It was like they were going straight from high school to management. It was super crazy. So, at that time, I don't know, I felt like women were attracted to me, but I had nothing to offer. Now, luckily at this time, older women were kind of more attracted to me at this time. So that's, I guess, I don't know if this is what other men go through, but that's kind of how it played out. It played out as a young man. The women that were attracted to me, they would like me, but you know, those thugs, D boys, or older men that had their stuff together, were those would be the men that those women would be with. Rightfully so. And then now, now that I'm a 40-year-old man, been making 100K for a while, which is not a lot of money because I'm in California. Now I realize those same type of women that would have desired me because I had time. Now we can do nothing for each other because now I have, I'm not rich or anywhere near it, but I'm on a path. So now that my finances are more stabilized, I have less time. So now in my 30s and 40s, I've been experiencing the flip side of that. So now I don't have as much time to hang out, to chill, to do this because I have a 9 to 5, and then I have a small business that I'm rocking with. So all of my extra time and money is to go towards my business. So yes, I have the finances, but I don't spend them frivolously, and I'm for sure not going to spend them on dating and time. Now I don't have time and I have money, but is not the money is not going, when you're 40, you have a budget for fun, but that fun budget is not going to be, I hear a lot of times, you hear women talk about the things that they want in these dates, which is fine, but there was an article that talked about the average first date, and the average first date in California is about $300. And it's not that a man can't afford that, but I mean, if I go on 10 first dates at $300 for per date, we're talking about me spending $3,000. We're talking about me spending $3,000. So this is the duality of why we're single. That's the introduction. So why we're single because a woman wants everything, and she has to go through the cycle of gaining and losing the things that she wants over and over to realize that you can't have everything you want. Prime example, if you have a man that has money, like relationships, especially if you don't want a traditional relationship where he pays all the bills and then you take care of the household, and then when he's available, he gives you all this free time. If you don't want that, then you have to understand everything will be a balance between time and money. If you're dealing with a man who isn't already rich, you're going to be balancing your life between time and money, and that is going to be frustrating. You're going to frustrate yourself because women don't understand sometimes that they are the very reason that men don't elevate. Women don't want a man that they're in a relationship in 2010, 10, 20 years, they stay stagnant. They don't get another job. They don't save more money. They don't want a man whose progress is stagnant. But the problem is she doesn't want a man who's stagnant, but she wants a man who will give her frivolous time and then give her money. But if I'm a man who's already not rich, I need time to develop new skills, and I need money to invest in myself and to do trial and error with with things economically. So she does not want me to be stagnant. She doesn't want me to be complacent, but the things that she's asking of me as a man are things that are going to stagnate me. If I'm not already rich and I need to go to school to get more skills, I need to spend $10,000 on my business, and or maybe 5 years, I need to spend 10 grand on advertising to make my business grow. I can't do that as a man if I'm spending constant time with her. If the time that I'm spending with the woman is the time I should be spending growing my intellect, increasing my social and economical intelligence, if I'm spending all that time meeting her emotional needs, calling her, checking on her, doing all of these things that you want me to do as a man, there's no time for me to grow. There's no room for me to grow. If I'm spending all of my extra money on entertaining a woman, then no there is no compound growth. The money that I'm spending on dating is money I should be putting in the stock market that will be compound growth. Because if I put $10,000 into my savings account, if I put $10,000 in my savings account and I put that in an index fund, let's say if I put that in the SP 500 index. The SP 500 index, it has a 100-year history of an increasing 10% every year, meaning that imagine if I take you on a trip, a $10,000 trip every year for 10 years. I've spent $100,000. Those trips don't bring equity back to me. Those trips don't increase my bottom line. Let's say that same $10,000 that I'm spending on entertaining my woman, I'm spending on investing in the stock market. That is going to grow by 10% compounded. So if I'm spending $10,000 a year on vacations and trips, and in 10 years, I've lost 100,000. If I'm building with my woman, like they say they want to, if I'm building with my woman, like she said she wants to, she says she wants to build, but when the actions don't match up, I can't build with a woman if she wants me to spend $10,000 to $15,000 per year on entertainment and trips. That does not compound. That does not build. That actually takes away from the financial foundation that a man and woman needs together. If her and I collectively put $10,000 per year in the stock market in 10 years, that will easily be close to three or $400,000 because of compound interest. Now, because I'm a man that's smart enough to understand compound interest, and every plan that I make is based off of 5 or 10 years in the future, A woman that doesn't understand the balance between time and money, she will never be happy because, like right now, I'm in investing mode. And even though I have money to date, it does not benefit me in the long run because I need to invest. In the last 10 years, I've spent over $10,000 in investing online. And in that $10,000, I want to say 1% of that money converted new sales. 1% of the $10,000 I spent actually brought money back in. Now, I had to spend that 10,000 over a process of 10 years to understand the value of advertising. You're not going to make money without spending money. You're not going to make money without spending, without having an ad budget, without having a marketing plan, a marketing strategy. So when a man is serious about his stuff, it's very hard to find a balance between time and money. Now, when that woman, you know, when she has her stuff, when that woman makes $100,000, it's easier. She will almost always attract guys that don't have money but have time because those guys that have time are more available. She's the breadwinner. They don't have lots going on, so they're available around her schedule, which is fun in the short term, but in the long run, even though he's available whenever she needs, he's not available financially. So he has the time but doesn't have the money. Now, when that $100,000 woman, when she meets a man who was on her level or more, that $100,000 man, their schedules never align up. They make the amount of money, but his days off don't align with hers, and he has to do stuff on his day. They don't need each other financially. They don't need each other. He needs somebody to wash his clothes and to help take it, but that's above her. She got her own stuff. She needs somebody to help. They need the same thing. They need a helpmate. 200%, $200,000 people both need the same thing, a helpmate. But what women don't understand is you will never respect a man that's your helpmate. You will never respect a man that's your helpmate because what type of man, unfortunately, puts his own success aside to take care of another man's children? What man would stunt his own growth to take care of another man's children? And it's not trying to be mean. And then what about a man that already has a kid? A man that already has a child that takes care of his child. For every dollar that he brings into somebody else's household is a dollar that he's robbing from his own household and his own children.